the grey man does whatever a grey man can. Can he make a comic feed? Yes, he can. He just did. Watch now, a video from Grey Man. A video from Grey Man.
Hey, it's me again with another blog. Mail. And I'm going to show you them toxic comics that I started showing you yesterday's blog. I just thought, yeah, why not make a blog out of it? Most of you people would not have seen those, being as they're a British comic. And most of the people who watch my channel are not from the UK. There are one or two. One, maybe? I don't know. But yeah, I'll show you them anyway. I will show them anyway, regardless of who watches it. Or anybody, whatever. I had a good night last night. It was good fun at the gig. Seeing my old drummer's band, and the support guy was cool. And yeah, it was interesting. Actually, met up with, well, I didn't meet up, but it just happened that one of my ex-girlfriends was there from half a lifetime ago, and I hadn't seen her for about nearly 30 years. So I was on the way out when she came in. Actually, she's going out with one of my friends now. So that was a bit of a blast from the past, a bit weird. So just like, oh hi, how you doing? Oh yeah, I'm alright. Yeah, cool. Hopefully I'll catch you again in the future, kind of thing. Because I wasn't going to stop around just because I was on my way out anyway. So what did I get in this package? Right now, I sort of like have gaps in my runs that I'm trying to fill out, and this I'm doing really well with finishing off my Superman gaps actually, because I think I've got some comics coming from Comics Altruism, which fill up one of my gaps in, I think, my action comics, I think, and now I've got my Superman gaps filled up in Superman Man of Steel. So I was needing 17. The guy was actually selling 16, 17, but I already had 16, so he swapped it for the only other one that I needed, which was 89. So 17, the old triangle numbers, got to try and squeeze that in the old triangle number box. Never had the first appearance, I think this is the first appearance of Doomsday. I thought that I'd blinking well had them all, to be honest. I thought I did have them, but no, I didn't have them. I had a trade. And I thought, when it came to go through my comics again, I realised, oh no, I didn't have the, the comics. I only had the trade of them. So yeah, I finally got the Death of Superman run now, and Funeral for a Friend. I actually picked up the only one that I needed from my Adventures of Superman a little while back. So there you go. And then finally there's number 89, bit of a jump. Bit of a jump, but that's one that I was missing for some strange reason. I might rebag these because they're quite thin bags. He's got little labels on the front of all of them as well. Interesting. Right, and I'm pretty sure I know what this one is. This is not from a run, but you know, everyone makes a list of what they'd like to get in the future. You know, this was one that I was on my list, basically. A small key, but just a character that I remember reading. I'm sure I read it in a Marvel UK comic way back, and felt sorry for him. He was a bad guy, but I kind of felt sorry for him, even though he was evil. He kind of couldn't help himself because, yeah, well, he didn't have a good upbringing. Let's put it that way. Let's leave it at that. He was a mutant. I reckon somebody out there's already guessed who this is, because I've talked about him a few times. But there's a few first appearances that I want. I want the first Taskmaster. That was in my run anyway. I need that for my Avengers run, regardless. And I'd like to get the first Rhino as well, because I like the Rhino. I think he's a cool looking character. And that cover for, is it Amazing Spider-Man 41? That is a really good cover. He's so big and bold on that front cover, like imposing, you know? It's really cool. So I would like to get that at some point. Of course, got to get a job first. Got to get a job first. And anyway, so this character, oh, this sellotape down. Let me just move that sellotape. Tum-ti-tum-ti-tum. It's in pretty good nick. Cost me about £12, I think this one did. Getting the sellotape off is a bit of a pain. Oh, it's sellotape at that edge as well. Sellotape on every edge. And I can't get the blinking thing off. There we go, it's coming, it's coming. Don't forget to check out my live footage of my mate's band from last night. Check that out. I think also yesterday's blog, I posted it up quite early because it was for a competition that was nearly ending. So I I put it up earlier than I would normally stick up one of my videos. I normally stick them up like 11 o'clock local time, which is probably a reasonable time over in the US, where most of my views come from. And yeah, I posted it up early. I posted it up about 7 because I wasn't too sure. I thought it would still be okay for the contest entry because it was like it was finishing at midnight that night kind of thing. So I probably had plenty of time really. And also I was going out, so I thought I'll post it up before I go out. I should have put it on a blinking what do you call it, on a scheduled. But anyway, forget about that. So yeah, I didn't get so many views yesterday. So go back and watch yesterday's video. It's good. Right, and this is my little key. I want no intention of getting the rest of this run, but I finally had the first appearance of the mandrill. Gaze upon his face, Harry. Zlotty, zlotty, zlots, zlots. 'Tis the mandrill in Shadow of the She-Devil #4. Bit of Bronze Age goodness. I think it's bronze. Pretty sure it's Bronze Age. That's popped on the bloody staple at the top there. The cover is not on the staple. I can see that already. Just looking through the bag. Presents well though. Very nice looking. To me, my pets, this rhino must not reach the nearby crowds at any cost, even my life. And don't look now, leopard lady, but here comes the man called Mandrill. Yeah, good stuff. And a rhino as well. I do like a rhino. Not just the supervillain of rhino, but rhinos are my favourite animals. I've always loved rhinos. Don't ask me why. Since I remember as a little kid, I got my first 30p pocket money, and I went and bought a little plastic rhino. It's really weird. Yeah, just like rhinos. They're cute. But yeah, big and. I kind of come up with a joke later on. When I first liked rhinos, this was not my was not my reason. But in later life, I kind of come up with the theory that I like rhinos because they're big, grey, and horny like I am. Yeah, fair enough. Everything stops for tea, don't you know? Right, Toxic. Toxic was a magazine, first published March 1991. It was a weekly comic, 28th of March. It was, we had 2000 AD, which most people have heard of, with Judge Dredd and Strontium Dog, Tokamada, Nemesis the Warlock, loads of characters, DR and Quinch, that you may have seen over the years, maybe in reprint books, Robo Hunter, Robusters. But then that started in the 70s. In the 90s, there came a short-lived challenger to 2000 AD called Toxic. The lead character was Martial Law, although he didn't run through every single comic. I thought he was going to be like the Judge Dredd of Toxic and be in every single issue, but he didn't turn out to be that way. It was in quite a few of them though. Oh, this has got just noticed this has got a turned corner. I'm going to sort that turned corner out because that's so annoying. How did that happen? How the heck did I manage to put that in there with a corner like that? Right, so I was basically going to go through my Toxic, show you all my Toxic magazines. I need to get some bags actually, some more bags, because they're not all in bags. Either that, I might get some balls. I don't know, they do magazine balls, I'm sure they must do. Yeah, I need to sort of invest in that. All my 2000 ADs, half of them aren't in bags and balls as well, they're just stuck in the box. So I might sort of, although I'm a bit short of dosh at the moment, so we'll see how it goes. Right, let me put that back in and I'll show you all the covers. I was saying yesterday that there's a character from this called Accident Man. They actually made a film. They just recently brought out a film of it, and it's like it's so close to the comic. It's amazing. just straight out of the comic book. Some of the scenes, and yes, good stuff. Good action. Violent action movie. Right, so here it is, Toxic #1. You can see martial law at the front there, just blown a hole in that dinosaur person. Toxic, go with the flow, I think, because it says here, go with the flow every Thursday, 99p. Toxic, the comic throws up. Zombies, maniacs, hitmen, superhumans, and martial law. Consider yourself extinct! And he just blasted a hole through that dinosaur chap. Poor old dinosaur chaps. Right, this wasn't. I didn't like this story. This story was a bit silly. I don't know, a bit dull. I don't know. It was Mutomaniac. I didn't think it was very engaging, and also it's Mike McMahon art, who I can sometimes find a bit not to my taste. He's pretty good normally on Judge Dredd, but I don't know. Just I think he did another one called The Last American. I think in Epic Comics. He's done a fair few bits, not too much in the American market, I don't think. But mate, that was cool. And this is the Accident Man I was talking about. He's the one who's just had a film. I think it was like 2018 maybe, something like that. Really good action movie, good fight sequences. So check that out. Quite amusing. But the Accident Man, basically, he killed people by accident, but arranged accidents. You know, he's a hitman basically, but he makes everything look like it. You know, it happened by accident, so there's no sort of suggestion that there's been a murder. Right, now this guy here, this is called The Driver, this bloke. It's a really kind of slightly humorous, slightly sick story, and I actually made this into a video. What I did, I scanned all of the artwork from it, and I put some heavy metal music behind it, because it's basically him driving along in this massive lorry, and there's a couple of like driving related tracks, and I did alter it a little bit to because there's one point there's a jukebox it's playing like a sad cowboy song or something, and I changed it to be heavy metal lyrics from this song that I was putting into the video. But it was quite cool because the guy who, I think, is it Gary Leach? I think his name. He actually commented on the video, said he really likes it. So that's cool. So I'll put a link at the end so you can check out the Driver video that I put up on YouTube. Hopefully it's not going to get copyrighted, because I've noticed one of the bands I put on there, Gamma Bomb, I did do another video. They've got a song called Kneel Before Zod, obviously based on Superman, and I made a video for that, and that was recently hit with copyright strike. So hopefully this Driver doesn't get hit with a copyright strike. But anyway, here's Martial Law from number 5. It's Infectious, Toxic magazine. And Martial Law, one of my faves. I've got many favourite characters, but I've got him, my old heavy metal leather jacket, I've got him painted on the arm. Got Martial Law one sleeve, and on the other side his villain, Suicider, who's the member of Gangrene, which is a kind of like Green Lantern Corps kind of parody, I suppose. Right. Here's the Accident Man getting into a sword fight. It was good art. I think it was Martin. Was it Martin Edmonds did art on that story? I think it was. Yeah. Right. New story begins. Macabre. It doubles as a bath bag. It says. We're practically an institution. Toxic. And there's some more Mike McMahon art. They're good bold covers though, I like them. Like the logo, Toxic logo with the sort of warning sign at the end, like exclamation sign. This is a character called Sex Warrior, so he was quite a bit adult compared to 2000, a bit more adult. She basically, I think she had sex-related powers, something to do with like tantric sex or something, which charged up her organs or something like that to enable her to do all kinds of stuff. It was a bit weird. Right, Accident Man's back. I can't remember who wrote Accident Man actually. I'm sure the artist was called Martin Edmonds though, but at least some of it. Here's some Kevin O'Neill art. Oh, my second body is a Porsche. It's a robot fight. Kevin O'Neill, I think he's another one who's an acquired taste, but I actually like his art. I do enjoy Kevin O'Neill's art. It's ugly, it's nasty in many respects, but it's very inventive, very yeah. It's kind of nightmarish. Right, Accident Man biting off more than he can chew. It's a nice clean cover, bit different. New Psycho Killer. Trust him, he's a doctor. Fine. Compulsory reading. That was number 12. Right, then we have a new character on this one called Coffin. Burying the guilty. No one is innocent. Another martial law cover. Great stuff. So here's another one drawn by Kevin O'Neill. So much going on with these martial law. I love all the writing, all the different bits of writing, little bits of like graffiti on stuff, you know. High firepower diet, it says on the back of his gun. Nuke 'em all, it says on the back of his bike. Kiss your epicenter goodbye. That's what it says on the bomb that's like hanging beneath his vehicle. Right, Coffin, big game hunting, NYPD style. Number 15, where no comic has gone before. Go with the flow. There we go. It's a toxic flow. It's a chemical flow of comics. Right, Macabre, back and smiting. It's doing some smiting there. Right, this one's boasts a monster of a comic. New Accident Man inside. And it's got a hellishly interesting cover. I can't remember if he was from a story or just for cover purposes, but it's pretty good, damn interesting. Right, here's some unmistakable Kevin O'Neill nightmarish stuff. Oh man, what is that? See if I can get it out of the light. It's like is it a two-headed dog? We'll call it two-headed monster type thing. Is it one head? I can't remember. That one, yeah, the other's a kind of arm, that's right. It's just weird, look at it. But it's like it's chained up like it's a pet dog or something, but it's got humans in its bowl. And some kid's about to feed it a cat or something. Yeah. Oh, on the back of, there's an advert for this cover on the back of the one before. It says, bored with your pit bull? Tired of your tarantula? Get yourself an alien pet. Heavy petting in next week's Toxic. Yeah. Right, and then I need some more covers for the rest of them. She's back. Sex Warrior blasting back. It's a pretty cool cover. Right, demons, hitmen, steroids, dinner ladies, gumshoes, whatever. Demons are forever. Number 20, Toxic. Go with the flow. Yeah, I was really excited for this comic when it first came out, but it kind of, I think it didn't survive too long. Sex Warrior. I say. Don't drown them puppies, I'll have the one with the pink nose. Right then. Oh, what's this stuck in the middle here? Oh, I seem to have a Batman poster just randomly stuck in between the two comics. That's fine. Right, some nice dino action on the cover of this one. Bites, Toxic Bites. Carnivore Special. Not suitable for young children. This is from August 1991. Right, this is Mutants Beware. This was a superhero story. A superhero story, and but it was not your typical superhero story. I don't know if this was ever remade elsewhere or printed elsewhere, but it was highly sex-centric, I would call it. See if I can find what it's called. I think it was set in a place called Novalopolis, something because I accidentally used that name myself later on in one of my role-playing games. I didn't realise I got it from here. Oh, it's called Bratz. Bratz Bizarre, it's called. So, it's like your New Mutants, but yeah, with a lot more sex going on. Yeah. We all know America's super kind, the brave and heroic young men and women who defend the nation in times of peril, armed with strange and wonderful powers to combat the forces of evil. Well, this is not their story. This is the story of the misfits, the knights in not so shiny armour who walked out of the Superkind project. They live here with me. Bates is the name. That's me in the picture. Yeah, bloody hell. So interesting. And there's a semi-naked lady. Yeah, but it was weird. Right, interesting. Right, there's another cover. Accident man in Amsterdam. In this one, he was setting up a politician. In this, it's quite funny. He wasn't killing him. He was like gave him a load of psychoactive drugs. So he started spouting nonsense. And it's kind of reminiscent of, I think it's based on an actual person in the UK who started doing that. It was like I think it was an ex-goalkeeper from a football team who'd become a TV pundit or something like that. And then he started spouting, I can't remember what his name is now, but he started spouting on about lizard people. But they kind of used that in this comic and made it out that they caused his sudden change of mindset by pumping him full of psychoactive drugs. Anyway. Brats, beasts, gnomes, detritus and T-bone to go. Is what it says. Feeding frenzy special. This is gives you an idea of that superhero story. Brats, bizarre. Yeah, that's the kind of story it is. He's on the ground, chained up, she's got a whip, and he's saying, "Now, Ocean, this is no way to ask for a date." Yeah, I think this Ocean, I think she might have had water powers, and she's always dribbling. She can't control her own saliva. It's quite bizarre. Right, Toxic. They're all toxics, I know, I won't bother telling you the name. Bone-breaking beefcake from September 1991. Bit of cover wear, corner curl there. It's Fear Me. Yep, I think if I saw that in real life I would definitely fear it. Teaching you terror every Thursday, I can't even read. Teaching you terror every Thursday. Right, Killing Time, Monster Mash. Just a couple more to go now. I think some of the stories remained unresolved actually, but I've definitely the quality of the stories wasn't fantastic in some of them were a bit hit and miss. Martial Law was always good. Accident Man was always good. Some of the other stories, well, they sort of seemed like they might be promising, but they're a bit, weren't great. United Killers of Toxic. Yeah, this is some of the characters from inside. I think that was called Detritus Man or something like that. Or the Detritus Rex, that story was called. Yeah, I think that guy's called Terror. I think that was, we saw him on the cover a minute ago. I can't remember this guy, the blue face. Right, and this is the last one. This is the very last one, number 31, the ultimate issue. So yeah, they must have known they were finishing. Some kind of rocket ship. This was a story which wasn't particularly engaging. I can't remember what it was about. And she's just saying, I don't think we're in Kansas anymore. So that's it. That's a little look at Toxic magazine, Toxic comic from the very early 90s. Only lasted 31 issues, not even a whole year, because it's come out weekly. Just on the back, you've got some Terminator adverts. I know this character was actually debuted in Toxic. Actually had his own individual comic come out, Apocalypse Presents. Because I think Apocalypse was the name of the company that did the Toxic comic, and they also brought out a couple of there's some advert there, some back issues. Yeah, not much else to see, I don't think. This is an interesting one, an interesting back cover. And another one that you saw in there as well was the Bogeyman. He's basically an escaped Scottish lunatic who thought he was Humphrey Bogart, like during his gumshoe movie period. Yeah, he was quite cool, quite funny. Bogey, quail, liberty and freedom. Be here next issue for some very un-American activities that mark the end of the Manhattan Project and maybe the end of Bogey too. So yeah, that was one of his stories. Right. Yeah. So that's it then. I'm not going to show you. I'm just going to shout out a small channel, though I'm not at all sure this is ever worth the effort. When I go back and look at these people's channels that I've shouted out, they've hardly ever had any growth. Even the ones who've got hardly any subs. So you think you'd give them a little bit of a bump. You go there and you're like, okay, you're still on 28 blinking. And the other one I shouted out the other day got 1 extra. I don't even know if that was from me or from something else. So it's like, So even the people who are watching my videos are already subbed, or they're just not listening. And I must admit, I made the mistake of going into my analytics the other day, and it tells you how much percentage of your video is actually watched. And like I'm watching some of my stuff, and it's like, oh, 2%. It's like, what? It's been watched like 90 times, and only 2% is the average amount of the video that people have watched. So if you're one of the ones like me who watches the whole video before commenting, then thank you very much. If you're one of the people who just popped in to watch 2 seconds and then left the comment and buggered off, then you know, I suppose it's better than nothing, I suppose. But if you are still listening to the end, then sub up this guy. It's going to come up here in a minute. SimpleSimon. He was featured on Life with Two YouTubers, Isle of Australian YouTuber, I think it was called. And yeah, he's a cool fellow. He likes to dress up as Red Hood and Ash Ketchum, is it, from Pokemon? Yeah, he makes interesting videos. He just did a video where he's interviewing his local comic shop guy who seems like a nice chap. And yeah, good interesting stuff. He's got a competition going at the moment as well, if you can win some comics. And yeah, he's a go-getter. He's like making good quality, professional looking videos. And yeah, go sub him up. SimpleSimon his name. And yeah, I'm bugging off till tomorrow. I shall be back tomorrow. It's my girlfriend's birthday on Saturday, so we're going out for a few beers, a jar or two, you know. Has to be done. I've got to remember to pick up a card on the way round to her place. Otherwise, I will be in the doghouse. Anyway, so I'm out of here. Cheers for watching, and until next time, may all your news be good news. Going at SimpleSimon Comics. Yeah, going at them. Going at them now. Or otherwise, I will be annoyed. Go ahead, SimpleSimon now.